It's Week 7 of the National Football League. Up next, we'll see Calvin Ridley. There's plenty of momentum for him coming off a 200-yard week. It's the Falcons and the Commanders coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
On the set. Ready.
Throwing to start here is Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. And give them 9 yards on the second down screen play. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching them try to take away that area of the field.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. second down and a run by Robinson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Second down at 6 now from the 42. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Open receiver here, complete, it's Parker. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On first down, Means. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Looking to throw. Goldstein caught on the slant. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. Fourth and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. It's their quarterback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
All right, let's keep this train going.
Over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Tua. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He'll return it from the 6. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Goldstein. Throwing left side, it's complete. And out across midfield, down to the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going right back to Dodson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They run the jet sweep, Dotson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Falcons offense set to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. From the 24, Tua. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
That boy Pistol Pete. Oh, go, man.
Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. punching it in from a yard away. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this, partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Falcons are going to get the football back at their own 17. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Tua, a final shot before half. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll kick things off with an AFC East clash in upstate New York. Buffalo hosting New England. And it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. Deontay Johnson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Najee Harris, a touchdown run in the victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for Washington, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did. And that should set them up well for the second half to come. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Second half begins with a run by Robinson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right
was
there. There
real
weren't
close.
really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. From 10 yards out.
Let's
and
go.
The Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On the move past the 40. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Ready?
They'll keep it on the ground. Carrington, a pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Robinson with another carry. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And did he get in? No! They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. 64 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw. Robinson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around. And
touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Commanders are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their 4th quarter lead. The York on now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Tua's throw taken in by Ridley here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
What's up, Clean Bean?
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got his man London right side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Tua going to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Here we go.
Tua setting up shop to throw again.